Hello everyone and welcome to Big Rock Moto. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate that. I only have two favors as we start out. One, if you're not subscribed to this channel, I would really appreciate the subscription. And two, whenever you're shopping for stuff, including 360 cameras, but also parts and gear for your motorcycles, please use my affiliate links. I really appreciate that. All right, I want to talk a little bit more today about 360 cameras. I've been using 360 cameras for years now, and as a motorcycle content creator, these are some of the best tools that I have because they allow me to capture the entire image 360 degrees around the camera. So what it means is that I don't have to worry about framing the shot just perfectly, and it also allows me to get some really creative angles and almost third-person points of view when I'm out there riding and testing different motorcycles. Another thing that's cool about 360 cameras is you can use them in single lens action camera mode. And that means that theoretically you could simply purchase something like this Insta360 X5 and use it as a 360 camera, and then you can also mount it on your helmet, use it in single lens action camera mode, and that way you're not having to buy an action camera in addition to a 360 camera. So that's another cool feature of something like this. All right, so getting to the subject of today's video, I want to talk about GoPro's new Max 2. So it has been, believe it or not, 6 years, I believe, since GoPro released the original Max 360 camera. And the Max 2 is an update to that camera. Now, my main 360 camera that I like using is this Insta360 X5. So today I want to compare, because I've been out testing the new GoPro Max 2. I bought this camera and I want to compare it today to the X5, which has been my favorite 360 camera to date. Now, it is important that I tell you that this video is sponsored by Insta360. Now, they did not tell me what to say or what to think, and all the thoughts and opinions and testing that I'm sharing in this video are completely my own. So first category to compare is the pricing on the two cameras. So Insta360, the retail on it is $550, and the retail on the GoPro Max 2 is $499. However, at the time that I'm filming this video today, and it is October of 2025 when I'm filming this, Insta360 has the X5 for sale at $499. So at least as of right now, the price is the same for both cameras. Okay, second category of comparison is the imaging sensor and the resolution. So the imaging sensor, that's the actual sensor inside the camera that actually captures the data for the image, or in this case for the video. And the larger sensor you have, the lower the signal to noise ratio is on the sensor. Without getting too technical, this is why people like me use expensive cameras, like I'm filming on a Canon R5 right now, which is a very expensive, very nice camera with a very nice big full frame sensor. With a larger sensor, you get a better image. That's just the way it is. So on the X5, you've got a very large, for a 360 camera anyway, 1/1.28 inch sensor. The GoPro Max 2, unfortunately, they decided to go with a very small sensor. It's 1/2.3 inch sensor. So much more sensor area with the X5, and that's why we're seeing better image quality, especially in low light, out of the X5. To give you some comparison to that, the image sensor in the Max 2 is what Insta360 was using 5 years ago with the Insta360 X2. So it's kind of like going back in time when you think about the sensor size and image quality of this Max 2 compared to just how far Insta360 has gone with their newest cameras like the X5. Now, GoPro is advertising something they're calling true 8K resolution, and their marketing claims are such that the other companies like Insta360 and DJI and maybe others are, they're basically saying that they have a true 8K resolution where the others are not. So I'll put the resolutions down here at the bottom, comparing this to that, the output resolutions of the two cameras. And it is true that the GoPro Max 2 has a slightly higher, just a tiny bit higher actual resolution that the image comes in at, or the video comes in at. But that's just a software-based calculation, right? So the fact is, because the Insta360 has a larger sensor, even though it has slightly less resolution out of the camera, it's actually a better image quality. So if you've been into digital cameras before, or kind of followed the progress of those over the years, you know this to be true, that chasing the resolution game is not really what it's all about. All right, so I've been out testing these cameras. My third area of comparison is overall image quality. So I will say that the GoPro Max 2, just like GoPro's action cameras, I've tested the Hero 13 recently, and it's a pretty good camera. I think I have a video on that somewhere. But the daylight image quality is actually quite good out of the GoPro. It's also quite good out of the X5. Now, where I've seen in my footage and testing the advantage with the X5 is that in daylight, in the shadow or the darker areas of the image, the X5 has better dynamic range. Dynamic range is the ability for the camera to capture a high contrast scene with sunny and shaded areas in the same scene. The X5 has more dynamic range because it has features like the active HDR and the adaptive tone, where the GoPro doesn't quite have the dynamic range, and you really see that in the daylight images. Now, in terms of low light images, I think that's where the biggest difference is. The larger sensor in the X5 means that it has a much better noise control and a better image quality in those low light situations. And that's what we would expect because the GoPro has such a smaller sensor. Fourth area to compare is replaceable lenses. So thankfully with the X5, Insta360 have given us the user replaceable lenses, and you can buy a little kit that's very affordable and replace the lenses yourself in just a couple minutes. Thankfully GoPro, unlike DJI, when I recently reviewed the DJI 360 camera, and the main thing I didn't like about that camera, because it's otherwise pretty good, was that it didn't have user replaceable lenses. Now thankfully GoPro went with user replaceable lenses. Backing up for a second, why do you care about that? Because these fisheye type lenses, they're going to get damaged. They're super easy to scratch, get damaged, to crack because they stick out so much. Proving my point right there, okay? The lenses are going to get damaged. You're going to have to replace them. And when they get scratched, the image quality suffers. So GoPro did give us user replaceable lenses. So 2 thumbs up to GoPro on that. And these are replaceable without any tools. You can unscrew them and screw on a new lens, whereas the X5, although they are replaceable, you do need to use a small tool that they include with the kit to do it. So similar with both, and I would just warn you that when you replace lenses on these cameras, be very careful of fingerprints and be very careful of getting any dust or also water vapor or condensation inside the lenses and things like that. But we have user replaceable lenses on both cameras, which is great. All right, fifth area is going to be battery life and potential overheating. So let's talk about the batteries. The X5 uses a pretty large 2400 milliamp hour battery, giving you pretty good battery life. You can see this is a smaller form factor camera, and GoPro has given us a smaller battery. It's only 1940 milliamp hours. So the battery life is not quite there with the GoPro as it is on the X5. Now, overheating. This has been a topic of much concern with GoPros for many years, and one of the reasons that I switched away from GoPros years ago was the bugginess and the software and the hardware, losing footage, batteries not working right, overheating, all the reasons that I had to move away from GoPro to other brands. But they've had this overheating issue with cameras, and it's still an issue on this Max 2. And actually, if you look at the Max 2 on the front here, you can see it's got these ribs. These are actually like cooling fins, right? And so you can see right in the construction of the camera, they're saying that they kind of have a heat issue, which it does. And this camera will overheat in about half the time or less than the X5 will when they're set to the same settings and recording in the same conditions. All right, next up, let's talk about screen size. So I'll put up some B-roll, of course, but you can see that GoPro chose to go with a smaller kind of square form factor as opposed to the more rectangular form factor that X5 has. There's one advantage to this smaller form factor is that it can be a little bit easier sometimes with this form factor if you're mounting like on a helmet or something like that. Oops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. So there can be advantage sometimes to that smaller form factor, but I actually don't like this form factor on the DJI or on this GoPro, and here's the reason why. It's the screen size. So you can see that the screen size, 2.5 inches on this versus only, 1.8 inches on this one, but also the way it's oriented. I found the screen on the GoPro to be very difficult to frame my footage, to see what I'm framing, and also to review footage. Just doesn't work well, and it's very small to see anything. Of course, also changing settings and things like that. It's just way easier to work with a larger screen versus the small screen on the GoPro. All right, next area, and this is where for me that unfortunately, and I'm being totally honest and direct about this. This area is where for me the GoPro completely falls apart. And I was shocked to realize this once I had bought the camera and got it home and started using it and went to process my footage and work it into this video and my other videos, right? For my workflow. I was shocked and dismayed to find out that, and I just couldn't even believe it was true. I had to keep looking it up online. GoPro took away their desktop editing application. They took it away, I think, last year. There's no desktop editor for GoPro 360 footage. There's no desktop editing. This is just unbelievable to me. So, like, to give you an idea of workflow for me with a 360 camera, with the X5, they have a wonderful desktop application for Windows or for Apple, for Mac. And you can get your footage onto there, you can do your time codes, what's it called, keyframes, do all your angles that you want to get. It's easy to export. You can adjust the image settings. You can export it to a regular video format, which then you can drag right into your video editing software, whether you use Resolve, whether you use Premiere Pro, or whatever it may be. Super easy, fast workflow to get great images, because the camera records a 360 image. You can't just take that directly into a video editing software. You have to reframe it and export it. With the GoPro, it's almost mind-bogglingly bad of a situation because, I mean, okay, yes, they do have a phone app that you can get. I'm not a 12-year-old girl making TikTok videos on my phone. Like, I make actual videos that go on YouTube that are 30, 40, 50 minutes long, an hour long. Like, I have a professional workflow. So I don't do videos on my phone. That's not reality for people who make videos like I make. So the fact that I cannot really work with the video files out of the GoPro is just, I was flabbergasted that this could be the case. So what I had to do was, they have a video viewing app called GoPro Viewer, I think, or GoPro View, something like that. You have to take the 360 file into that. Then you have to process it through there and export it as a equi-rectangular video file. Then you have to get a special plugin for Resolve or for Premiere Pro, which then you can finally then, within the video editing software, edit and reframe the 360 image down to something you can actually use in a real video. The process is so frustrating. Even just to make this comparison video has been very frustrating and time-consuming because of this problem. And hopefully I'll have been putting some of this up on the screen as I talk about this to show you the difference, but it's a massive problem. And for that reason alone, I don't know how I could ever recommend to anybody the Max 2. If they don't have desktop editing software, it just tells me that they're not really serious about professional users using their cameras. All right, final area of comparison, number 8 area of comparison I think we're on, is the audio quality. So GoPro did a pretty good job. They put there's 6 microphones in the camera. I don't know where they all are, but they say that there's 6 of them, and they work okay. But the X5 Insta360 was smart, and they built in a wind guard to the microphones on the X5. So especially when riding at higher speeds or doing higher speed activities, whether it's motorcycling or something else, you're going to get more of a usable audio quality out of the X5 because it's got that included wind guard into the microphones in the camera. And the GoPro, while it's decent for a camera like this, is not going to be a very usable audio situation unless you're riding or using it at lower speeds or in low wind situations. All right, so that's my comparison on those 8 areas between these 2 cameras. I apologize if I seem overly harsh towards the GoPro. I'm just very honest about what I've found. I'm not saying that Insta360 products are all perfect. There's always ways that they can improve, but I really do think that their experience in doing all these generations of 360 cameras really comes through in how good a camera like the X5 is. The truth is that because of, there's a few issues that there's no way I could ever honestly recommend this GoPro to anybody. Now, if they wanted to change that I could recommend it, they'd have to change a few things. They would have to give me a bigger screen, because this screen is really difficult to use out in practice in the field to review my footage or to frame my footage. But the biggest one for me, and a deal breaker, is there's no editing software for the video for a desktop. That's unbelievable. I cannot even believe that they took it away, and there's no solution for video editing. So there's no easy way to have video workflow if you make, videos longer than 30 seconds or something like that. Again, I'm not a TikToker or a 12-year-old girl making videos with my phone. Like, I need to make pro-level videos that are longer. And without having desktop editing workflow, that's impossible to do. So this would be completely out of the picture for me. So unfortunately, that's my comparison, and I'm just being as honest as I can. The other issue, of course, that I've reported with this is it will overheat much more quickly than the X5, and it overheats more quickly as well than the DJI Osmo 360. So in terms of 360 cameras, I would unfortunately have to say that this was probably the worst that I've ever tested. All right, if you're going to order any Insta360 products or any cameras, I'll have some links below where you can do that. Sometimes they give away special things if you use my link. Sometimes they don't. It just depends. But I'll put that information down below, and I really appreciate you using that. If you have questions or things that I missed, or you just think I'm wrong in being unfair, then let me know. Put that down below in the comments, and I'll be happy to have that discussion with you. And maybe I'm wrong, but this is what I found through my testing. So thank you so much for watching. Ride safe. I'll see you out there.